How to practice. Hi, I'm Felipe Drago and welcome to Drago Drums. Do you think this is an odd question? No, it's not, because most people don't actually know how or what to practice. Obviously, beginners have a very specific path that they have to go through, and usually they have the guidance of a teacher, which helps their lives. But then, as people progress in drumming, they stop having lessons for whatever reason. I don't quite understand because my last drum lesson was actually this year. When they stop having lessons, they start practicing aimlessly with no goal in mind, no objective. And they do one thing one day, another thing another day, or they think, oh, I need to know all of this, but I don't know any of this. So they start trying everything at the same time. And obviously, that doesn't help. In order to progress, we need to have focus the whole time. The best thing is have a goal. If you think you need to practice more rudiments, practice more rudiments. But also, how to practice involves how to actually do the practicing. A lot of people want to cram as much as they can in the time they have. Unfortunately, that's worse than not practicing. If you have 10 minutes and you have 20 exercises, choose one. One exercise practiced for 10 minutes, it's way better than 10 exercises practiced for 1 minute. Many years ago, Bruce Lee said, I don't fear the guy who practiced 1,000 punches. I fear the guy who practiced one punch 1,000 times. And this is the thing we need to have in mind. Also, people say they want to practice, but they sit at the drum kit and they just play. That's not practicing, that is playing. And we always play what we already know. So if you want to play, fine, but don't complain if you're not getting anywhere. You need to specifically decide what it is that you're going to practice. You need more rudiments, practice that. The best place to start practicing rudiments is the pad. First of all, doesn't make as much noise as the drum kit. You can practice anywhere. And the second thing is keep your practice focused on your hands. Then when you're comfortable with one or two or five rudiments and you want to take them to the drum kit, fine. But starting on the pad is the best thing. Keeps your focus on your hands. Same thing for reading and same thing for example, stick control and all the motions, molar and everything. The pad keeps you focused. Obviously, if you want to practice coordination, independence, let's say a specific style like Latin, then you have to do at the drum kit. But even though it's necessary focus, don't sit at the drum kit and start playing whatever you already know aimlessly. And then when you realize you spend 20 minutes just playing around and you only have 5 minutes to practice. Make the effort of going to the drum kit and saying, I'm going to practice in jazz independence. And that's what you're going to do. Let's say you have 30 minutes, half an hour. After you practiced, doesn't matter if it's one exercise or five exercises, as long as they are well done and very focused. But if you once you practice 20 minutes jazz independence, that is the thing that you need, then play around, then have fun. Play a song, just play around, do a drum solo, whatever you want. But you need to focus on your practice. The other thing is don't try to embrace the world because it's impossible. Choose one thing and practice that one thing. It seems that, okay, it's going to take forever to practice everything I need. If you think forever is too long, if you try everything at the same time, it's going to be even longer than forever. Because, for example, let's you continue with the example of jazz independence. If you practice jazz independence for 6 months, by the end of the 6 months, you're going to be much better at it than you've ever been before. Then you can choose to, okay, I have half an hour to practice every day. Then you can choose, like, okay, I'm going to use 20 minutes to practice something else and 10 minutes to practice jazz independence. Because now you have practiced 6 months of jazz independence, you need less time to improve more. You already understand how it works. Focus your time on practicing and focus on the subjects. Don't try to practice everything at the same time. I know I repeat myself here on YouTube and Instagram, but I think it's very important. Find a good teacher. People think it's a waste of money. I think that not having a teacher is worse than wasting money. It's wasting time. There are a lot of great lessons on YouTube. I believe I have put some great lessons on YouTube as well, but it's very difficult to give feedback because even if somebody asks me a question and I reply, if I haven't seen the person playing, I cannot say, you need to fix that. That's good. That other thing, you need to pay more attention. Now take it to the next level. And having a teacher, that's what's going to do for you. Maybe you don't have money to pay for weekly lessons. Do monthly. When I had lessons with Don Famularo, when I first started many years ago, for me, what he charged was a lot of money. But I needed him as a teacher and I needed to improve. So I did a monthly lesson with him. And he gave material for me to practice for a month. So the next month when I had my lesson, I had tried all of this stuff. We would go through that quickly. He would say, yes, that was great. That was not. Improve this. Let's take one step further. The other thing, you might say, oh, but there are no drum teachers where I live. Okay, I live in London. Don Famularo lived in Long Island, New York. We had lessons via Skype. And you're going to say, that doesn't work. It does. I'm not going to allow you any excuse with that. It does work for every level, not only advanced players. For absolute beginners, it works. Period. Nothing more to discuss. We're well past that point. When I first started Skype lessons with Dom, I had the right to ask because that was more than 10 years ago. Now, with technology as advanced as it is, and one good thing about the pandemic, with the pandemic, we understood that the internet can be used for positive things. So, how to practice? Focus, discipline, and put your mind to it. If you practice, I guarantee you don't need to practice hours and hours and hours every day. Obviously, if you could, there was a period in my life that I could do that. I was at MI in LA. I practiced at the very least 6 to 7 hours every day. Now, having to play gigs, having to teach, having to record, having to do social media, I don't have time to practice 6, 7 hours every day. But I guarantee if you practice, I'm going to even go lower than 30 minutes. If you practice 20 minutes every day, by the end of the week, you will be amazed at yourself about how much you have improved. But it's 20 minutes of practice, not 20 minutes of playing around the kit or playing a drum solo, playing that drum beat you love, playing that drum feel like. It's like practice. This 20 minutes, I'm gonna practice whatever that is and focus on that for a period of time. Don't jump around. You want to practice jazz independence, practice jazz independence, and don't worry about the rest. Want to practice rudiments, and don't worry about the rest. Want to practice coordination, whatever it is, odd meters, focus on that, take your time, and then move on. Don't jump around Don't try to have 1 minute of a little bit of everything. Doesn't work. So practicing is important, but how to practice and knowing why you want to practice, it's much better than just playing around and not going anywhere. Okay? I'm glad you watched this video. Write on the comments what you think. How do you practice? Have you thought about that? Are you disciplined? Let me know. Okay? Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye.